G'day everyone, and welcome to the start of another video. This video we cover our time here at the Karijini National Park, and we're camped outside the National Park at the moment, and that's where we base ourselves, but we'll show you what the roads around Karijini are like. Most of them are to the main gorges are all sealed roads, but there is one that goes around the top, and we use that one when we go to Hamersley Gorge, and we'll show you what that one's like. But we visit most of the gorges, and start off with Knox Gorge, very beautiful that one, bit of a steep climb down into it, and the other favourite one that we've got, of course, is Hamersley Gorge. Hope you enjoy the video. I'm Mick, and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia, and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. Joining us on the big lap with their own van are our good friends Michael and Janice. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. Leaving Port Hedland, we start to make our way down towards Karijini National Park. It's a place that Sally and I have been wanting to go to for a long time, but one that we've never visited before. As we're making our way down towards Karijini, there was caravans galore on the road, and the closer we got down to Karijini itself, the more and more we started to see mining trucks going up and down the road as well. The later part of the day's drive became very picturesque as we got down into the hills, the light of the day with the landscape formation. It was absolutely beautiful to drive through. And here we are now doing that left-hand turn that was going to take us to our campground. G'day everyone, and we're all set up here at the Albert Tognolini rest area, and that's just outside Karijini National Park. And we're going to be here for 2, possibly 3 nights, just depends how we plan our attack and what we want to see in the national park. But as we get tomorrow out of the way, then we'll work how we're going to do that 3rd day, so it should be good. Our stay here to visit the Karijini National Park was actually 3 nights and 2 days, not 3 days as I mentioned just a moment ago, but we were very lucky when we pulled into the campground here. We were high up on the cliff, and we had that beautiful view as we looked down into the gorge as it ran down towards the main highway. Extremely popular campground this one, and like all those good campgrounds, you need to get in early, otherwise you're going to struggle to find a spot. The golden hour on the hills on that first day that we arrived here were very pretty to look at. It was during that golden hour on the first afternoon that we were here that we went for a walk along the campground. It's a very long campground, this one. It follows the gorge up. I'm calling it a gorge, but I guess technically it's probably not a gorge, it's more like a creek, but you can see in the image of the drone here what the layout of the land is like. And the campground itself goes for a very long way up. As we're looking at the highway now, it's very nice to be able to see a road train go down there. There is a lookout there that allows you to view it as well from the height of the land, and if you're lucky enough you might be able to see a road train making his way up the hill. The first night we were there, such a pretty sunset. Once again, a little bit more cloud in the sky would be lovely, but in saying that, it wasn't too bad at all. From looking at the sunset to turning around and looking at the caravan in those golden hour colours, it was a picture to behold. Today was going to be our first full day in the Karijini National Park, And the first part we're going to go over into the middle of the park and have a look at the area around Knox Gorge, and then make our way back along to the Dales picnic area, have lunch and then visit Dales Gorge. As we'd never visited the Karijini National Park before, our first port of call was the information centre to familiarise ourselves with the area. All the roads that we'll be travelling on today are bitumen roads and of course very easy to drive on. The first gorge that we're going to visit today was Knox Gorge, and we're now walking up onto the viewing platform, and from the top of this viewing platform it allows you to get a bird's eye view as you look down into the gorge. It's a long way down into the bottom of the gorge, and very shortly that's the direction that we'll be heading. The walk that takes you down into Knox Gorge and of course along the bottom of the gorge is a Class 5 walk, and possibly the first Class 5 walk that we've ever done, and believe me, for someone our age, it did put us to the test. As we made our way down to the floor of the gorge, we look up at the gorge walls and the colours were absolutely striking, and then we look back to where we just climbed down. Believe it or not, we climbed down all those rocks there to get where we currently are. Knowing full well that we had to climb back up out of the gorge from the floor up to the top, we made our way along the floor and made sure that we thoroughly enjoyed the view that we were receiving. The colours on the gorge wall as we look down the gorge here are absolutely amazing, and it's one of those things, if you timed it perfectly, you could probably be here and the thing would absolutely light up bright orange everywhere. As we made our way along the gorge floor, we knew that we weren't going to go as far as perhaps what a lot of others were. You've got to realise that once you start getting on in the years, you're not as agile and free with the body to move around like you wish you still could be, and we put safety first, so we went as far as what we thought was our ability, and enjoyed the moment that we had there. The temperatures down at the floor of the gorge, it made for ideal walking conditions. Very high gorge walls here, it's something that is very difficult to pick up with a camera lens. Michael made it a little bit further around the corner than what any of us others did, and when I come and had a look, I thought, well, no, I'm going to put the safety first and realise my potential, and that's as far as we went. The next area that we're going to have a look at, and that was Joffre Gorge. It's a very easy walk that takes you out to this viewing platform that allows you to look down into the gorge. Unfortunately for us at the time that we were visiting, there wasn't very much water in the gorge at all, and for that reason alone, the Joffre Falls were not running. Even though there was minimal or very little water there, the colours of the gorge were still something to be viewed. From Joffre Gorge, we made our way over to Dales Gorge, and it's a very easy walk here that brings you out to a viewing platform that allows you to look down into Circular Pool. but unfortunately again, not very much water. From the viewing platforms along here, you can take in the striking colours of the gorge. There is a second viewing platform that allows you to look down into Dales Gorge. It's a short walk and a very easy one at that. There is a walking track that will take you down to the floor of Dales Gorge, and we elected not to do that today, purely for the lack of the water that was down in the gorge. The next area that we're going to have a look at was Fortescue's Falls, and when we come up here we see this ambulance here, and the first thing you got to ask yourself, what's going on here? Fortescue Falls is part of Dales Gorge, and you can see the falls from this platform that we're on now at the moment, and here we are looking at the other way in Dales Gorge, looking away from the waterfall. When you leave the viewing platform to go down to Fortescue Falls, there is something like 280 to 300 of these steps to get down to the falls. As you make your way down the steps to the falls, you can pause for a break and admire the water as it's coming over the rocks. Like all the gorges within Karijini National Park, the stones are just such a beautiful colour to look at, and they're all layered. It's a very pretty sight to see. A very big crowd here at the falls, and as we get down the bottom we soon find out why the ambulance is up at the top. Unfortunately there has been an incident down here where there has to be a rescue. From the Fortescue Fall area, it's only a short walk, and that will take you up the Fern Pool. It's a very easy walk that brings you into Fern Pool, and once you arrive, you'd be kicking yourself like us if you didn't bring your swimming gear. Lots of people here swimming, and when you take in the beauty of the area, it's quite easy to understand why. And just forward of the viewing platform, a nice array of ferns growing along the water edge. We dedicated the following day to visiting Hamersley Gorge, and after the gorge we went down to Tom Price and made our way home that way. To get to Hamersley Gorge, we went via the Oski Roadhouse, and there's a short stretch of bitumen. I'm not sure how long that bitumen road was, not very long, and then we went on to dirt road. All of the dirt roads that we travelled on to take us around to the gorge were in excellent condition. There is a very narrow gorge section here that you must drive through, and you need to call on UHF channel 40 and notify oncoming traffic that you're using the gorge. And not very far after that we're doing the left hand turn here that takes us into Hamersley Gorge, and as far as dirt road conditions go, this would have been the worst road that we drove on for the day. When we arrived at the car park for Hamersley Gorge, we were quite surprised at the size of the car park. It was very small, and when we arrived it was full. For us now, it was time to have a look at this gorge that is supposedly the most photographed gorge here in Karijini National Park. The walk that takes you down to the floor of the gorge is a Class 4 walk. When you make it down to the bottom, you're rewarded with some great views. With very little to no water in some of the other gorges, it makes me wonder how high the water level would normally be here, should there be plenty of water about. People now making their way up the rock face here. It's the start of a Class 5 walk, and that will take you to the spa pool. And I did attempt this one, and I just felt my shoes weren't good enough and not sticking to the stones, so I returned and just admired the views that we're looking at now. The colours of the layered stonework here, it gives you a very striking view, and with the sun shining on it, very, very pretty. One thing that I've learnt with our time here in Karijini National Park, and that's even though I considered myself to have very good walking shoes because they're actually proper hiking shoes, they just weren't suited to being wet and walking on smooth rock. And should we ever return to this area again later on in future years, I'm sure the type of footwear that I wear will be different. Once leaving Hamersley Gorge, we had time up our sleeve, so we did a left-hand turn here and made our way to Tom Price, and the roads once again in very, very good condition. Once we reach the railway line here, we say goodbye to the dirt road, and it's a sealed bitumen road all the way to Tom Price and then through back to the caravans. We had a quick visit to the information centre at Tom Price, had something to eat for lunch, and then it was back to the caravans. Well, we'll end this video here. We've really enjoyed our time here at the Karijini National Park, but from here we start to make our way towards Caravan. So until that next video goes up, you take care and look after yourself.